Yeah. That's how you know it's going to be a good show. A well-timed bottle pop. Sometimes I mistime that fucking bottle pop right in the beginning. That one, I like that. I like the timing on that. And with that, I thank you guys for joining me once again. As always, I'm your host. I'm Will Bryant. And let's just get this out of the way real quick. Because if you aren't already, I really don't understand what's wrong with you. If you're listening to this right now, if you're watching right now, that for some reason you don't follow, you don't like, you don't subscribe, you're almost going out of your way to watch me, to listen to me, but not show me love. What is up with that? So come on. Don't go out of your way. Stay in your way. First of all, thank you for listening. Love that. Appreciate that. That's not what I have a problem with. My problem comes with everything else. That's kind of a loaded statement. I have so many problems with so many things. But for right now, what I'm talking about is you. Not liking, not subscribing, not following. All of that. You know how you can do that? It's very easy. You just got to remember 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. It's the same thing on every platform, every single platform I'm on. Not sure what they are? Let me remind you. Let me talk to you. Yeah. Instagram. Yeah. YouTube. Yeah. TikTok. Yeah. Twitch. Yeah. Spotify. Yeah. What else? X. Yeah. Threads. Yeah. 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. Bryant. Like who? Like Kobe. Oh, I guess I'm in a mood right now if I'm starting off like that. Yeah. Ooh, how obnoxious is that? I'm sorry, but it's a thing. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. And if you don't, I'm sorry, but I'm not. Right now I'm drinking some Sapporo Reserves. I believe Martin brought those over the weekend. Had a bunch of my boys over this past weekend. For what? Some boring shit you guys won't care about, which is why I'm not going to talk about it here. But I will start talking about it once I start my other podcast. Every I'd say August to roughly December, I do a personal podcast for me and my stupid league mates in my fantasy football league. So that's about to start up again. It seems like every year I give myself a new reason to hate the guys that I play fantasy football with. Because they already piss me off enough on a regular basis. But now it's like I give myself duties and tasks to do on a weekly basis that revolve around them, and it just makes me resent them and hate them. And it doesn't help that I've also never won this thing in 15 years. So, you know, there's that. But either way, I'm going to do it again. I'll do it resentfully. I'll do it angrily. I'll do it against my will. But I will do it because that's the game. So don't worry. You guys don't have to worry about listening to my fantasy football shit. That's as far as I'll talk about it. That's it right there. I will save my bitching and moaning about my failures in another world besides the real one, in the fantasy world. I will share those foes and those woes of mine, I should say, on my other podcast that only about 10 or 11 other people listen to. So, what are we here for today? Actually, this isn't one of those episodes where I'm just going to go all willy-nilly and random. I'm actually going to try to stay a little focused here. I know that's a little out of the norm for you guys, but I'm going to try. You know, for those of you guys that haven't been around since the beginning, where the fuck have you been? But besides that, thank you for being around now. There was a time early on in this endeavor of mine where I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this podcast. And early on, I was lucky enough to find my footing, where I realized this wasn't going to be a pop culture podcast. This wasn't going to be a podcast about Marvel or whatever. Although, by the way, just saw Deadpool. Look at this. Look at my Deadpool figure that came in the day that I went to go see it. Isn't this awesome? Sidebar, I'm starting my separate YouTube channel where I dedicate it solely to my fanboyism very soon. Probably by the fall it'll be around. Just want to get some. I'm going to unbox a bunch of toys. Who knows? Like I said, I might start recording some podcasts even just for that. Anyways, what was I talking about? I got so distracted by this Deadpool figure next to me. Oh, yeah. I thought that this podcast was going to be about the exact thing that just distracted me. But I realized I didn't want that. Not for this one. Not for my I guess my linchpin of my podcast. This is what I consider my go-to, my priority, a lot of stuff. I hate when people ask me like what's going on with me in my life, because I truly don't want to say in like the real world, like, oh, just trying to work on my podcast. Like, that's just, no. I might as well tell them, when someone asks me, hey, Will, what's up with you? I might as well, instead of telling them I'm working on my podcast, I might as well just be like, working on my model ships that I build inside of glass jars with tweezers. Equally as relatable, I think. I don't know. Plus, nobody wants to hear about your podcast, I feel. I don't know. Which is weird when all I think about is, how do I get more people to hear about my podcast? I'll do whatever I can, I guess, or I should be more focused on it, to doing it online and on social media. But in person, oh man, I cringe if it comes up somehow. I try not to bring it up in person, to be honest with you. With strangers, that is, I guess. Which always makes it weird when that's the way I let them find out. If we ever become Instagram friends, then you pretty much just get punched in the face with the fact that I have a podcast, because, that's all I do. If you don't know, then go figure it out at I'm Will Bryant. That's 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. Confused about how that last name is spelled? Well, let me clear up that confusion for you. It's Bryant. And you might be wondering, well, who's that like? Well, I'll tell you, it's like Kobe. Hopefully that clears up any confusion you might have had with my tag. I am early on, when I was trying to figure out what this podcast was going to be about, I had a lot of venting that I wanted to do, that involved the place of employment that I was formerly at. And, I ended up just having recording some episodes about exactly what was going on, including some of my more popular episodes, like one simply titled I Quit My Job, another one simply titled My New Job. Around that time, a little bit before that actually, I had another one of these episodes where I kind of just didn't focus it on anything in terms of like pop culture or nerd culture or anything like that, and instead focused it on my experiences in my own life. And it was about the let's say the peeves of a bartender. Essentially, I knew I wanted to make an episode or record an episode giving you, the public, a look into what would be considered proper bar etiquette from the perspective of a bartender. And I mean, who better to tell you guys about proper bar etiquette than a bartender from working in New York City? Not that I'm the best. I mean, any bartender, any one of us that work in New York City, you sit down with one of us and just start asking bar etiquette questions, we'll talk your ear off. And I had an episode back last year called Bar Etiquette 101, where I just broke down what I thought were some very fundamental ideas about how you should behave, how you should act at a bar. And that episode did well, and to this day, that's one of the few episodes that people will actually bring up to me or mention to me. And when I say people, I don't mean fans. I don't have fans. I have people that put up with me that will listen to and tune in. But, there's been at least a handful of times where someone that I haven't seen in a long time will say something about the podcast, and they'll be like, "Oh man, the bar tip episode, you know." And I always wanted to go back to that, and it's been over a year, and I've just taken this podcast so many different ways. Since then, I started incorporating more guests. Since then, I've probably gone through 3 bouts of minor depression that I just suppressed deep down inside and let manifest with weird obsessions with toys. But you guys have been there every step of the way to see that, and I appreciate you for that. But I thought it was about time to maybe go back to class. So if last year I took you to school with Bar Etiquette 101, well, common sense says it's time for Bar Etiquette 201, the next level in how to behave yourself at a bar. But before we do that, how about a little quick review? Previously on I'm Will Bryant, Bar Etiquette 101. What did I talk about last year when I was trying to teach you guys for the first time how to behave yourself at a bar? Well, I mean, I started off with what I thought would be common sense things, but unfortunately, I work in an industry where I'm never surprised by someone's lack of common sense. It's just what happens when you work in an industry surrounded by liquor. But you know what? It's not even always liquor based. I mean, sometimes I'm always a little bewildered when people don't know what to do at restaurants. And I'm not even just talking about tourists. Tourists, I get it. There's certain things that are different in culture. No, I mean people that are born and raised in the good old USA. And it's like, have you never gone somewhere where you order and people bring you the food and the drinks that you've ordered, and then you pay for the food and the drinks that you ordered that were brought to you? Like, have you never been in an establishment like that? What is going on? I'm confused. You're 72 years old. You should know what's going on. So some of the simpler things that I'll cover real quick in this review. You know what this is like? You remember being in college and not paying attention and not going to class all semester long, and then 5 minutes before the final, you go up to your friend and you go, "Okay, just speed review. Everything that I need to know starting now. Go." And then you go and you take that test and you walk out of there confident as a motherfucker just to see that you failed out and still owe money to college and never got your degree and are a failure for the rest of your life. Remember that? Is that just me? Oh, shit. All right. Common sense. Be nice. Shocker, right? I know. Be nice. Be nice to your bartender. Be nice to your servers. Be nice to the bar backs. Be nice to the porter. Be nice to the host. And be nice to each other. Don't act like an asshole. Don't be a dick. Don't be a douchebag. I cannot believe that this has to be a lesson, but you'd be surprised. I don't know what it is besides alcohol that gets people acting like assholes when they get to a restaurant, to a bar, or whatever. I mean, I've always told people that I think the way that someone treats people in the service industry is a big window into what kind of person they are. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're on a first date with someone and you see that they're speaking down to the server, that they're treating the bartender poorly, that they feel entitled, and you go out on a second date with that person, I really got to question you at that point. Be nice. Listen, maybe you don't go out often and you think that when you go out you have to put on some type of show. Maybe, I don't know who you're showing off for, but it happens. I see it happen all the time. People will be at a bar and they just suddenly start trying to act cooler than they are, trying to act like, some character you saw on TV that looked real debonair because he said or did something or acted a certain way. No. You know what's truly attractive, and I don't even just mean that in an attractive sexual type of way, but attractive in a human connection type of way. You know what makes people want to associate with you more, want to be around you more? What's a quality that endears you to other people? It's not being arrogant. It's not being chauvinistic. It's not being unnecessarily overconfident. No. Humility. I butchered that. Humility and genuine kindness will endear you more to people around you than any kind of act that you're trying to put on where the goal is to look, be, or seem cool. Unless you're fucking Johnny Depp or Michael B. Jordan, I don't give a fuck about your swag. But if you're an everyday person and you just have like this warmness about you, I promise you that'll go further. I promise you. You know how many times, dude, I am, you've been with me 71 episodes. Am I nice? No. We know this. But you know what I mean? You know what melts my heart the most? What breaks down my walls? What bypasses my shields? All that stuff is genuine kindness, niceness. Not, oh man, that guy was so cool, I should be fucking nicer to him. No, just be nice. And the reason I say not just to your bartender and your server, but to the people around you is because the nicer you are to people around you, the more inducing that is to a positive atmosphere, a positive night, a good time. You know, the person that's able to make friends with strangers around them, that inevitably becomes the coolest person in the room. The guy or the girl that ends the night with a bunch of random people going, oh, I love that guy. Oh, he was awesome. Oh, she was so fun. He was really nice. It goes further for the patrons, for the staff, everything. Be nice. Something more specific about being nice. You would think this would be common sense, but common sense is lacking in this world. Don't yell at your bartender. Whether it's yelling out of anger or yelling just because you want to be seen or heard, yelling because you don't think we'll be able to hear your order regardless. I mean, just don't yell at us. No matter what. I've been in some of the loudest clubs and loudest festivals. And I've been able to communicate my drink orders without yelling. Why are we at a bar in Astoria, Queens, and you're yelling at me, tequila soda? Holy shit, dude, relax. If it's really loud and you have a low voice, you know what goes, little tip, what maybe you might not be thinking of, use your mouth. We're pretty good at reading lips when it comes to certain drinks. I mean, like we get order. You know how many tequila sodas, vodka sodas, gin and tonics, rum and cokes, shots of tequila, shots of whiskey, whatever, Jamesons. You know how much of this we hear on a daily basis. So if you just enunciate, speak clearly, and sometimes maybe accentuate your mouth so that we can kind of read your lips as if we're deaf in a way. We'll get there, man. You don't have to. On top of the yelling at us, you know what's worse than that? When you do this, when you call us over, because you want us to lean into you over the bar so that we can hear you. Do not. First of all, never summon us over like where you're serving with your hand up in the air, looking like Carmela Soprano. Summoning over her caterer, who's supposed to be her friend. No, you don't summon. You're summoning me over. No, I'll be there. Patience. But to tell me to come closer so that you could lean in and then yell in my ear while spitting. Aperol spritz. No. How many times someone has asked me to lean over the bar only for me to have to wipe off their saliva from my face? It happens way too often. When someone leans into the bar, or asks me to lean over the bar just to listen to them, I promise you, I just shake my head no. I just say, I hear you. What's up? What do you want? Or you speak up. If you lean over, I sometimes lean back. Lean back. Lean back. Lean back. That bar is our personal space, man. If we're talking about like no summoning us over, no come here type of shit, you know what else isn't cool? Don't ever snap at your bartender. Don't snap at your servers. If you need someone's attention in general, don't ever snap. We're not dogs. Hey, look here. Tequila soda? Yeah? Okay, go. Who's a good bartender? Fuck you. You don't snap at us. You snap at me, guess who's waiting longer for their drink? I remember one time somebody was yelling at me from across the bar on St. Patrick's Day while I was obviously serving other people that were patiently waiting for their drinks. And I walked over to him, all the way over to him. And he thought it was because I was going to take his order. And I cut him off and I said, the more you yell, the more you're waiting. And then I took the order of the person directly next to him. That was out of spite. And the people to his left and his right loved it. They fucking loved it. You want to know why? Because they were acting like human beings, and the person that I put in, the person who I put in their place was not acting like a human being. You know, when you act nicer, when you don't act like an idiot, things will probably go your way a little bit more. Still on this quick review, I don't know if it's so quick, but the review. Read the menu. When you're coming into order, you know what's the worst? When someone comes into order and they immediately try to get the bartenders, hey, and then you're going to order from me and you have no idea what's on the menu and you're not ready to order. You don't know what you want. What beers do you have? Bitch, read the fucking menu. What's on draft? Look at the draft. They all have big ass fucking sticks on top of them advertising exactly what comes out of the fucking holes. Look at the motherfucking draft, and then you tell me what we have on draft and which one's the one that you want for me to put in a cup so you can put in your mouth. How about that? What tequilas do you have? All the ones that are on the fucking shelves directly behind me, lit up on purpose with bulbs so that you can see them clearly in a dark room, you fucking moron. Look at a menu, or look around to see if the drinks are written on the walls, whatever. I promise you, they're probably somewhere. You want to ask for a menu? That's cool too, man. But if it's a busy night, we are not your menu. We are your bartender. The menu is everywhere else. What do you have? An aneurysm because you're driving me crazy. Once you read the menu, if you're in a group of people, don't be the douchebag that flags me down for my attention and then orders one Bud Light. Cool. And I bring back the Bud Light, and then you look to everyone else. Hey, what do you guys want? You should have asked them before you ordered from me. You could have easily been not only a better friend to your fucking a group of people, but you could have been a better patron to me. And before you flag me down, you turn around and be like, hey, I'm getting a Bud Light. Anyone else want a Bud Light? All right, 2 Bud Lights. What else? Blue Moon, tequila soda. What do you want? Ginger ale? You bitch. Okay? Turn around. Hey, yeah, what's up, man? Can I get 3 Bud Lights, a Blue Moon, a tequila soda, and a ginger ale? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Bang. That's how it's done. Not this, you ordered, then you turn around. You didn't even realize that 2 people have no idea what's even on a menu. One person's on the phone with their mom trying to figure out what's going on with the baby that they left at home so that they can be taken care of. You're just the fucking asshole that wanted your Bud Light so fast that you flagged me over and weren't efficient about it at all. Do better. You're pissing me off. Once you order, don't be afraid to open up a tab if you're going to be there for a while. This shit where you make us close out your credit card 5 times in one night, fuck you. It's really annoying and really obnoxious. And I know if you're the one of these people that do that, you're probably on the other side right now going, oh, I just don't want to forget my card. Well, how about stop being an idiot? Be a little responsible. It's not, you're wasting our time because you're so stupid that you might leave a card because you drank 3 vodka sodas in a night that you have to pay for individually? My God. Do better. Let's crack open another Sapporo. We're almost through this review session. Besides opening up a tab, if you're not going to open up a tab, then be ready to pay. Don't ask me to order, or don't order a bunch of stuff from me, and I make you these orders or these drinks, and then once I serve them all, you're like, oh shit, and then you're looking for your wallet, your purse, your card, your cash. What did you think was going to happen the moment I presented you with your alcohol? Did you not think that you were going to have to provide some form of payment in response to that? Why is this catching you by surprise? I don't understand. Normally, when there's an exchange of goods, it's an exchange of what the fuck I do and then an exchange of what the fuck you give. So if I do the drinks, you give me the money. Why the fuck is the money not in your hand ready to be handed over? Why are you surprised by this? Never be surprised by the fact that you have to pay, okay? Be ready, all right? You ordered drinks from me. I made them while you were waiting. Why the fuck weren't you ready with money when I came back? I shouldn't have to be waiting there like this for you to pull out a card to pay me for something that you knew you were getting in advance. Let's go. Let's be fucking efficient, okay? I'm sorry, but these are bars, and I'm talking about bars in New York fucking City. This is a city that never sleeps. Why are you taking naps in my bar? as we continue this shit about paying, I swear to God, if two of you people walk in and you buy 2 beers and you drink those 2 beers and then you ask for the check and you're surprised that they're both on one check, what is your problem? If you want different checks, say it from the beginning. Number 1. But number 2, if you're splitting a check when each person ordered one item, seek help. Whether it's emotional, whether it's financial, whether it's existential, on any level. Shit, even spiritual. Seek help. The amount of times that I get 2 dudes ordering 2 Stellas and then asking me to pay with 2 credit cards. The amount of times I have 2 chicks ordering a vodka soda and a gin and tonic that cost the exact same price, and they want to split a tab for $24 with 2 credit cards. Holy shit. No one has Venmo anymore. No one has Cash App. No one has a job. No one has money in their bank account. What is going on? I understand splitting a tab that's $150, you know. Although you all know what happens a lot with industry people like me when we go to bars. I promise you, if you're at a bar with like 4 or 5 people, and one of the people you're with is either a bartender or a server in the industry, and it comes time to pay a tab, I wouldn't be surprised if they're the one throwing down their card to cover everything and then just asking people to pay them back after the fact. I know that's what I do. I know that's what a couple of my friends do in the industry, or definitely in the industry, but a couple of my personal friends that either worked or the industry or just know because of me. We're not splitting nothing no 5 ways if I'm out with you. Cheers. Thank you, James. And once you're paying, one of the main topics we talked about was tipping and how much. And I said, listen, man, 15 is the bare minimum. If the only way you're not tipping someone, in my opinion, is if they were like almost outwardly offensive. Okay. I've gotten bad service and I still give probably 20% for bad service. You want to give 15% for like what you felt was like the minimal amount of effort for service. Cool. Like, but that's, if someone impressed you, go impress them with the tip. The amount of people out there that just do 15 no matter what, come on, play around with it. 20 seems to be the standard for people that are wanting to do a little bit more than the bare minimum. And, you know, that's cool. That's fine. If you give me a 20% tip, I don't think too many of us will ever be upset about that. I'll tell you this. I personally always tip way more than 20%. I am often thanked, or the recipient of my tips is always a little taken back by how much I give. My girlfriend Val can attest to this. She always gets a little kick out of when I pay for bills or whatever, and either way, the idea that you guys have to tip as much as someone like I do, or someone in the industry, that's not, obviously I don't expect that. But I'm a little surprised by these videos that I see online where someone will post like the lack of a tip that they got and the response from people saying either I don't tip or you should be grateful for whatever you get. The people that defend bad tipping, like let's say you have a $200 tab and you tip $5 on that, that's a bad tip. That's literally a 2.5% tip. There are people out there that will tell you, probably not to your face because they're not that courageous, but they will type out in a comment, you should be grateful. And they'll call the person posting the video of a bad tip ungrateful. Isn't it a pot kettle black situation? Aren't you being ungrateful by not paying the server a decent tip? The server that's already being paid under minimum wage because their job, thanks to the U.S. government, their job relies on tips. That's how it is. You don't like it? Well, get out of this country. Like you guys like to fucking say a lot of times. Our job is reliant on tips. You don't tip as well. You call us ungrateful, but you're the one that's being ungrateful financially, monetarily, economically with us. Show your gratitude. Show us that you're grateful. You know how we like to be thanked? With money. Just like you. And if you can't afford a tip, you can't afford to go out. Simple as that. It's as simple as that, guys. And that's all I got for the review. That was all a review for our shit I talked about in the last episode of, or not last episode, but the first Bar Etiquette episode, Bar Etiquette 101. I've got some new things to talk about. So like any course in college, 101's the basic stuff, right? That all sounded pretty basic, right? That all sounded, I don't know, like it should have been common knowledge, like it should have been common sense. But unfortunately, it's not. It's not. You'd be surprised. Some other things that I wanted to add to that, maybe not so common knowledge. Let's start off with my first topic in Bar Etiquette 201. And I'm calling it Read the Room. What I mean by read the room in terms of bar etiquette, guys, there's a big difference between a dive bar and a cocktail bar. And furthermore, there's a big difference between bars in general and clubs. Read the room. Let's focus for a little bit in terms of dive bars versus cocktail bars and you know anything in between, really. A dive bar. You've heard it all the time. Oh, I love a good dive bar. You know, like I'm not into the fancy stuff. I just give me a good dive bar and I'm good, you know? You could consider me one of these people. I mean, look, I like a well-made cocktail. I can appreciate the work, the craft that goes behind a good cocktail. But more often than not, I'm probably the type of guy that would gravitate towards a good dive bar than a good cocktail bar. And, you know, what's a dive bar? Listen, a dive bar, the first thing I think a dive bar has to be is affordable. Besides that, every bar should have some sort of commitment to cleanliness. However, a dive bar may have the aesthetic of grimy, of being dirty. They may accomplish this by, allowing graffiti and tagging throughout the years. Maybe they just, haven't really remodeled in a long time. A dive bar shouldn't be considered a dive bar because they're legitimately dirty. No, look, a dive bar can look grunge and grimy and still get an A rating from the health inspection. So don't think that a dive bar has to be dirty for it to be considered a dive bar. No, it's more of an aesthetic thing, and it's, can the aesthetic, can the aura of a dive bar be manufactured? To a certain extent, yes, but I think oftentimes those types of dives, eventually people kind of see through them a little bit. That's why a good dive bar is a little hard to find, because it takes like years of a dive bar just kind of surviving and chugging along and having that core of regulars that are just there, and they just know, like, yeah, this place is solid and it's just always there. And I think when you have a good dive bar as like one of your local, like for me, I got the Bonus Room just a couple of blocks away from me. That's a dive bar. I mean, loud music, graffiti, the leather seats aren't exactly pristine. There's the beat up jukebox in the corner. There's a pool table where the felt isn't exactly perfect. I would never call the Bonus Room a dirty bar. They do a good job of keeping that spot clean. Also, by the way, the service there is awesome. The guys and the girls there are super nice, but it's a dive bar. What do I mean by know or read the room? So if I walk into the Bonus Room, right, I'm not gonna go in there and expect that they have all the ingredients necessary to make some abnormal cocktail that isn't readily available like at a normal bar. Sure, a dive bar, yeah, they should be able to make an old fashioned. Sure, margarita, yeah, that's no problem. I go into a dive bar and I ask for a penicillin. All right. Hey, do you guys have an egg white whiskey sour? They'll definitely be able to make you a whiskey sour. Asking for egg whites at a dive bar? I mean, Jesus Christ. All right. Maybe. Can you make a Ramos gin fizz? Come on. Oh, and understand that not every bar can make mojitos, okay? Jesus Christ. Get over your mojito and learn another drink. You can't make a mojito? No, we don't have mint. Well, why do you need mint in a mojito? It's like the main ingredient. You fucking moron. And another thing about reading the room is when if a dive bar can't make you a drink, don't act like a fucking bitch about it. Don't act like a fucking asshole about it. Read the room. You probably should just order a vodka soda. Maybe a Cosmopolitan, but that's even... They definitely have the ingredients for it. But, and look, a good bartender, they should know how to make it. That's what happens a lot when I remember working at, I've only basically worked at cocktail bars. Bars that, I wouldn't call the Comedy Cellar a cocktail bar, but it helps that I know my stuff a little bit. But whenever somebody asks me about what it's like to work at my place and they're interested in working there as a bartender, easy question to ask them. Well, have you ever bartended before? Whenever your answer is like, yeah, I used to bartend, but it was basically just pouring beers and vodka sodas, then in my head, you don't really know how to bartend. You know how to serve drinks behind a bar, but I mean, there's a Rolodex of cocktails that are memorized in my head. And there's a knowledge of spirits that are in my head. Being able to serve someone drinks while you're behind a bar and being a bartender are two different things. And hey, sometimes these dive bars, a good dive bar has a bartender that can make you a Negroni no matter what. But listen, I've been at bars where I've seen someone order probably a Negroni and the bartender will be like, "What?" You know, it's the way it is. Read the room. It also, look, that's the thing too with cocktail bars. If you're in a nice cocktail bar, you got to read the room. A lot of times I've had people that are used to like dive bars or regular bars, and they come to one of my cocktail bars and they will be confused about the price. They'll be confused about the way something's served. They'll be upset about that stuff. Look, a lot of these cocktail bars, if you ask for a double, they'll either, one, not give you a double, say that we don't do that here, or two, gladly give you the double, but they'll just charge you double the price. There are dive bars that it's actually cheaper to order a double than it is to order two singles. I worked at a place just like that. The Diddy wasn't a dive bar, but a double was only like $5 extra instead of like the full, I don't know, $8 or $10 that it'd be for a regular serving. Yeah, sure. I guess it's a loophole in some places if you want to just drink more. But to assume that a cocktail bar has a discounted price for a double because you're used to it at a dive bar, read the room. Just because at McFlaherty's Alehouse Irish Pub, a double of Jameson is $15, that doesn't mean that at my bar it's going to be the same thing. No, in fact, if you order a double of Jameson at my bar right now, that shit is $30. Why? Because one Jameson is $15. You want two of those in one cup? I'm charging you for two of those. Why? Because I'm not a dive bar. You going to get mad at me about it? I didn't set the price. Read the room. You're not at the Blarney Stone Irish Pub, whiskey, a go-go, whatever, blah, blah, dive bar. You're at somewhere a little bit more serious, a little bit more, less rowdy. You don't like it? Go back to the dive bar. Read the room. Continuing this read the room topic, bars versus clubs. If you're at a club or a bar that feels like a club where the volume is just insane, because I worked at the Diddy where it felt like a club every Friday, Saturday night. I've also been to plenty of clubs, hip hop, EDM, raves, all this shit, festivals, whatever. You know what's wild? To go to a club and order like a margarita. If you're at a club, it's beers, shots, and quick mixed drinks like vodka soda, tequila soda, gin and tonic, rum and coke. That's pretty much it. Even if you want you know what we find annoying? If we're at a club and there's 70 more people behind you, even asking for 3 limes instead of the one is annoying. Yeah, you're annoying us. You want us to start shaking drinks? I have once been at a club and heard some annoying ass, I'll let you guess whether they were male or female. I'll let you guess. But this person said, "Can I get an espresso martini?" at a club when there was 14 more people behind them wanting to order from this one bartender, surrounded by 4 other bartenders that also had 14 other people that wanted to order from them. And the bartender, she said, "You get one tonight. I'm not making another one of these." And I thought that was really nice of the bartender. to go out of her way to make an espresso martini at a club while the DJ is saying 1, 2, 3, go, and you're ordering a fucking espresso martini, bitch. Vodka soda, good, go, bye. You might be thinking, I don't understand. What's the big? It's annoying. It's hard. It's labor intensive. Even a margarita. And you know what's worse? Oh my God, dude. You want margaritas? Okay, that's already bad enough because, I mean, it's a 4-ingredient cocktail that we have to shake up. Tequila soda could have, bang, splash of lime even if you wanted a little bit easier. Margaritas is fine. Fucking, all right, fine, I'll do it. You want to really piss me off? Ask for salted rims. Look, at a regular bar, do I love it? No, but whatever. I'm a bar. If I'm at a club, if I'm bartending at a club and you ask me for a margarita with salt on the rim, I might just tell you no. Sorry, no, we don't have it. I have to serve way too many people. Fuck you. Espresso martinis at a club. What is wrong with you? Mojitos at a club? What is wrong with you? In what world is this okay? In a world where you're not educated. That's why we're here at Bar Etiquette 201. Read the room. Let's move on from reading the room. Let's discuss another topic here. I've got some pet peeves. I guess in a way these are all pet peeves because these are all things that piss me off as a bartender. But when I'll just say this, know what you want. Don't come up to the bartender and say, surprise me. No, bitch. Just fucking order. Decide. Just surprise me. No, this isn't, you know when you're trying to decide with your significant with your significant other what to order for dinner from like Seamless, and they're like, what do you want? I don't know. I'll have whatever you want to have. All right, cool. I'm feeling some sushi. No, I don't want sushi. Well, then fucking decide. That's what happens almost every time that one of you pieces of shit ask one of us bartenders to surprise you. You tell us to surprise you, we give you the drink, and you're like, I don't really like this. You know what I love? When a customer comes up to me and goes, is it annoying if Yes, it is. If you have to, I know I've said this on the show before, but I don't care. I'm saying it again. If you have to preface your question to a bartender with this phrase, is it annoying if the answer is yes? Inevitably, the answer is yes. Is it annoying if we want 7 espresso martinis? Holy shit, you know what? I think it is. I think it's fucking crazy annoying, actually. Oh, hey, I want to order, but I'm not sure what I want. All right. Well, do you like tequila? Do you like vodka? You know what? I'm easy. Just surprise me. Okay. Fucking stupid bitch can't make a single fucking decision. Fucking blah, blah, blah. Just shake, shake, shake. Here you go. Surprise. Oh, this looks fantastic. Oh, you know what? Is it annoying? Yes, it is. If I tell you I don't like this at all, holy shit, I'm fucking shocked. How about make a decision? How about you tell me, I'll just do a vodka soda? You don't say. You asked me to surprise you, I'm putting down a shot of tequila in front of your face. You asked me to make you my favorite cocktail, I'm putting down a shot of tequila in front of your face. You asked me to give me my finest, You ask me to give me your finest, I'm putting a shot of tequila in front of your face. You ask me to make any kind of decision about your future in terms of drinking, guess what? I'm putting a shot of tequila in front of your face. And you know what I'm about to do to me right now? Watch. Hey, give me your finest. No fucking problem. Shot of tequila. Thank you, James. And you see what I did? I fucking took it and I thanked the person, and that's it. That's what you should do. Either don't ask me to surprise you, make a decision, and leave me the fuck alone, or fucking, you know what? I don't know. Grammatically, I ruined that last fucking diatribe. But either way, I'm still here. Don't ask your bartender to surprise you. Don't ask him, what your finest beer, please. Fucking Stella, you basic bitch. Because I don't trust you. I go to a bar, I like a sour beer. I give that to you, you think I'm a psychopath. Fuck, I'm not a magician. You don't sit in front of me and say, oh, entertain me. I mean, listen, if you're entertained by my mixing of cocktails, cool, no doubt. Order a specific cocktail, though, you fucking asshole. Don't ask me to surprise you. I'm not. The hell? This isn't a game show. Surprise you. If I give you an IPA and you're one of those people that hates IPAs. You want to know what else? This has nothing to do with surprises or nothing. Phones. Let's talk about phones at bars. You know, just for a little bit. Phone etiquette. Phone etiquette 101 at bar etiquette 201. Don't ever talk on the phone while it's on speaker. If you're at a bar and you're talking on the phone, it should never be on speaker. Believe it or not a single other person in that entire establishment wants to hear a single word of your stupid conversation. It's just never going to happen. So if you're on the phone at a bar or a restaurant and it's on speaker, you're doing something wrong. And you're being annoying. Read the room. You suck. Speaking of the volume of people's phones, let's say you're not on the phone. Okay? Let's say you're at the bar by yourself, enjoying a drink, and you're on Instagram or you're on TikTok. And you've already followed me at I'm Will Bryant, 3 words, I'm Will Bryant, Bryant, like Kobe. Let's say you've already done all that. Because you know it's the same on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Thread, all that shit. You know. You know it's only 3 words. Bryant, like Kobe. You already know that. But you're now you're scrolling through Instagram Reels, TikTok videos, YouTube Shorts. But here's the thing. You don't have any headphones on. You don't have your AirPods in. You don't have any Dre Beats on. You got nothing. You're doing it with your phone on full volume for the rest of the bar to hear. Hey, you suck too. Hey, you suck. If you're on social media at a bar And other people living their real lives have to hear the 3-second clips of every video you're scrolling through. You suck. We shouldn't have to suffer through that. You're stuck in your vortex of social media. Fine. We're not. The bartender's working. The other patrons are having fun, enjoying a conversation, talking to each other. Maybe they're actually in a real conversation on the phone or doing work even. And then there you are. And every other fucking sound coming out of your phone is a trending 3-second audio clip, a trending 5-second music clip, or a weird picture of a half-naked girl that you're kind of trying to hide so that no one else notices what kind of a pervert you are. Hey, you're doing it wrong. Stop being a weird social media guy in a fucking bar. Either put your headphones in, or how about those goddamn little 5 seconds of audio aren't that important? How about that? We don't want to hear your conversation on the phone, and we don't want to hear what you're watching on Instagram or on TikTok or on YouTube. We just don't care. We don't care. Especially if it's some fucking, God, the amount of times that I just hear a Spanish person just playing loud ass Spanish clips. I'm like, stop it. You're giving us a bad name. We don't want to hear this out loud. Put in a headphone. Oh, my God. Phones, man. Oh, speaking of phones. Another thing. Asking bartenders to charge your phone. Ugh. We're never going to be happy about that. Ever. It's not our job, but you guys have made it our job. Hey, can you charge my phone? Hey, can you leave me the fuck alone while I make the 42 drinks that I have to make? Now look, if you ask me to charge your phone and you're actually tipping me while you do it, well then, maybe I won't be that upset. Because now my interaction with you is just as lucrative as my interaction with everybody else. But it's not our job to make sure that your phones are charged, I'll pretty much always do it if it's possible. But do you know how many times every one of my goddamn cords is occupied because so many of you just need your phone charged, your phone's charged, your phone's charged? Be careful with your... Maybe if you weren't on Instagram with the volume on loud, following it up with a phone conversation on your speakerphone, then your phone wouldn't be dead. But yes, it's always going to annoy us when you want us to charge your phone because we're usually so busy, the only thing we want to do is our fucking job. Shocker, right? Because here's the thing, not only are you bothering me when you want me to charge your phone, now, inevitably, you're going to bother me when you want me to give you your charged phone back. And I love when the person just walks up and with their hand out, expecting me to remember who the fuck you are, like I didn't just serve 72 different people in the last 15 minutes. I don't know who the fuck you are. Oh, you're cracked Samsung douche? Here, take your green text piece of shit out of my face and don't ever speak to me again. Do I sound mad? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, also, I don't have much else to say about tipping except this. Don't ever ask me if this is a good tip. Fuck you. Yeah, good. Yay. Good job. Wow, you gave me the normal amount that everyone gives. Thank you so much. Please unbuckle your belt, undo your zipper, pull your jeans down, present your penis, because I would love to deep throat you and gobble you up. You're amazing. Thank you. Yay. Fucking self-serving piece of shit. If you ever ask me if it's a good tip, if it was up to me, it would always be no. Although last week, I'm not gonna lie, some dude came in. I barely talked to him because he seemed a little weird. But it was one of those weird situations where he like was loving me, and I thought I was just being a dick to him. But I feel like maybe so many people treat him badly that whatever interaction he was having with me was a good one. I don't know. He tipped me $100 on a $50 tab. Now that's a good tip. Speaking of tips, he could have put his tip in my mouth. I would have been. Anyways, I'm just starting to wind it down here with this bar etiquette 201, and this one is you know what? Before I get to, I'll make that the last one because I think it's the most important one. Before that. This next one is called Don't Be Disgusting. It seems obvious, right? I guess. But when I say that, I'm thinking about like something specifically that has happened to me multiple times by so many people. And I'm always shocked that people think this is okay. And I have to say something. I've seen this done to me directly in person multiple times, like at least a dozen times in my career as a bartender. And I'm just not lying to you. Every time it's a white male. I don't know what it is. They'll be drinking. Look, here's my cup of water right here, right? Let's say it's a beer or whatever, right? They'll finish their beer. But the whole time they were chewing on some gum, and they're done with their gum, right? And they don't know what to do with it. And they're done with their beer too. So they'll take the gum out of their mouth and put it on the rim of the glass and then slide it back to the bartender, aka me, for us to deal with it. The amount of people that I've had in my 10 years of bartender that think it's okay to put a chewed piece of gum on the rim of glassware that other people will be using after we clean, it's insane. And I know maybe they're defending it with like, well, what did you just say? You're going to clean it anyways, right? How degrading is it to me that you place chewed up gum directly in front of me for me to then dispose of? I'm surprised you didn't just ask me to put my palm out in front of your face so that you can spit it into the middle of my goddamn hand. Do not dispose of your gum on my glassware. The glassware of a bar is not meant to dispose your gum with. If you're chewing on gum, do not fucking put it on the glasses. That's disgusting. Because you know what? Now, either I don't have a bar back, so it's me. But if it's not me, then someone has a bar back or a porter. Someone now has to remove your gum from glass just to clean the glass you just used. And you know what's happening nowadays? There are these new dips that people like to do. What's it, like Zintax or some shit? Or let's see, Zins. I'm looking it up right now. Zins, the fresh nicotine experience. They're these little packs. It's almost like the new age tobacco dips, where you put it between your lips. So guess what demographic of people love this? White males. You know what I started finding at the bottom of my glassware? Well, I'm the one that has to like bust these and clean it up. Used packs of Zyn or other types of pouches, nicotine pouches. You guys think it's okay to finish your beer and then just throw it into my glassware, where then I then have to dispose of something that's been chilling in your mouth between your gums and your lips for the last 25 minutes. Hey, newsflash. I don't want to dispose of shit that you've been chewing on or dipping on for the last hour. Find a garbage. Why am I in charge of that? You disgusting ass piece of shit. I don't know. Look, the dipping, look, it's obvious. That's not, most women aren't going to fucking put dip in my cups, right? That's at least a male thing. It's predominantly a white male thing. What is up with you guys thinking it's okay to put it in my cups, in my glassware? A lot of time it's just a laziness thing. It's just you just don't give a fuck. Well, that's why I'm doing episodes like this, so that maybe some of you realize that the next time you don't give a fuck, someone else is out there affected by that. People like me, people like my barbacks, people like my porters, people like my dishwashers. Like, we're people too. And if one person hears this and says, holy shit, maybe I shouldn't be a douchebag, then great. I know. I've had people come up to me, my fans, but I've definitely had people tell me like, oh, I didn't know I was being annoying, but then I listened to your episode and you said this, and that. Good. Cool. Learn and be better. Adapt and adjust. Recalibrate. There's always time to improve. So if you're chewing on something or leaving something inside of your mouth for like 15, 20 minutes, shocker, don't leave it to someone else. Clean it up yourself. I don't know why that. How that one. I'm always a little surprised about the things I have to tell people, but as a bartender, I should just stop being surprised in general, shouldn't I? The last thing that I want to leave you guys with is one that it might be taken for granted a little bit, but I actually truly believe this is the most important lesson I could teach you guys, and I'm teaching it here in Bar Etiquette 201. The greatest lesson, the greatest piece of advice I could give anybody out there, coming from a bartender in New York City to anyone out there listening that's going to go to a bar, a club, a restaurant, whatever. The greatest piece of advice I could give you, besides just be nice and be kind, is this. Know your limits. The amount of people that I encounter in my profession that think they can drink more than they actually can. I mean, honestly, I think that might be most of us. Myself included, dude. Like, I think we all build ourselves up a little bit to the point where we feel like, I got this. I'm good. Shots on me, whatever, blah, blah. Like, unfortunately, it takes bad nights, bad instances, bad situations to teach us our lessons. if you've experienced these negative nights, don't let them go to waste. I know that they may seem like a terrible memory, but that terrible memory may serve as the launching point of a better person. If you had a bad night because you took too many shots, but you never let yourself get to that place again, then you've then taken that bad night and turned it into a positive because you know your limits. If you ever said something or did something that you regret because you had a little too much to drink, that's a bad night. Yeah, take that. Learn from it. Improve from it. Be better because of it. It's a way to turn a negative into a positive. Sometimes I heard this on Everybody Loves Raymond. Sometimes life is like a photograph, and it takes a negative to develop. It's corny as fuck, I know. It was meant to be corny. It was a joke in the sitcom, but I think there's some truth to that. I'm here while drinking a bunch of beers and taking a bunch of shots, preaching about knowing your limits, because I've gotten bitten in the ass by my inability to acknowledge my limits many times. Drinking too much has made me feel embarrassed the next day. It won't make you feel embarrassed the night of, but the next day, you'll be mortified. I mean, shit. For you guys that have actually been listening for a long time, you guys know. And if you guys that are new to the show and you don't know, well, listen to me now. I've lost a job because I drank too much. Took a negative to develop. Know your limits. When you guys are out at these bars, clubs, restaurants, whatever, I know you're having a good time. I know you're, the night of my life, yay. But, for the bartender serving you your drinks, for the server bringing you your drinks, for the bouncer letting you in and letting you out, it's not the night of his life. It's just another Saturday. And we've seen this every weekend. So if we're telling you to either take it easy or when I see someone that I think is getting a little too drunk, I'll just start. If you're sitting at my bar, you will always get water. That's my thing. I don't care what bar I work at. I give you water immediately before I even serve you a drink. I just want you well hydrated. But one of the things I'll do if I see someone getting a little too drunk is I'll switch it from like a regular like small cup of water to like a big nice pint glass of water, and I'll put a pint glass of water right in front of them. And more often than not, that drunk ass person's like, "Thank you, I needed this." It's my little hint that I'm seeing that you're hitting a wall here and you need some help and you need to sober up a little bit. That's usually a way that I try to give a hint to my patrons that they might need to slow down or just stop. A lot of times people are good at picking up on that hint, but sometimes you guys are not. And I have to do something that is a little uncomfortable, and I have to cut you off. So one of my tips is, look, if you're cut off at a bar, don't argue. Don't argue. You just got cut off, which means that you have been judged as being too drunk. And now you want to argue. Do you really think that you're about to debate yourself out of this situation? As a bartender, I've assessed your night, and I see that you're too drunk and too fucked up to even act like a regular person. So I cut you off. And now your reaction is to now enter a debate with me where you have to be a logical person that speaks intelligently? No, it's never I've never cut someone off and then listened to their argument and been like, you know what? You know what? That's a great point. Not only am I uncutting you off, here's a shot at tequila. You've proved your point. You know how many times that's happened in my life as a bartender? Never! Don't argue with us when we cut you off. You will not win. Because here's the thing. We can cut you off and let you chill. We cut you off and then you argue with us, you're just going to get kicked out. And now, whoever you came with has to worry about you getting kicked out. And not only did you just ruin your own night, you ruined everyone else's night too. Because here's the thing, you could have gotten cut off, but you could have still chilled. You could have drank water the rest of the night and danced on the dance floor with your friends that are still acting appropriate, that are drinking responsibly. But no, you got cut off and you had to make the night about you. And now you get kicked out. And now the group of friends that you're with either have to make a decision that they're going to leave you and let you Uber home alone, drunk, or they're all going to leave and have your back. And you know what? If you have good friends, then they're probably going to leave with you. And you know what you just did? You just ruined 6 people's nights. Why? Because you didn't know your limits. If you get cut off at a bar, if the bartender is telling you that he thinks or she thinks you've had enough, do not argue. I promise you, they have a better sense of the situation than you do. It's just the way it is. And all this talk about shots makes me want to have one more. Know your limits, guys. Nobody likes being around someone that is just too far gone. And with that being said, I take like my 4th or 5th shot of the show? Maybe just 3, but I took one before. Guys, that's all I've got for Bar Etiquette 201. I hope that you guys learned a little bit of something, remembered a little bit of something. I appreciate you guys for it. I've only really got one thing to say. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, because it's something called branding, I believe. But anyways, do me a favor, follow me on what? On all platforms like Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, aka X, Spotify, Threads, Twitch. It's all the same because I'm really good at that shit. 3 words at I'm Will Bryant. Once again, 3 words. I'm Will Bryant. BRYANT. Like Kobe. Yeah. Guys, I appreciate you for being here. Guys, thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much. Treat your bartenders well. Treat your servers well. Treat the barbacks well. Treat the hosts well. Our jobs are tough. We're working while you're having fun. Just be nice. Just be nice. And I promise you, everything will be so much better. Besides that, thank you. I love you. And